Hey guys, welcome back. We are in the barn, and I haven't really introduced this tractor to the channel except for a quick short on it. So I figured it's time for a video and an explanation on what it is and why it's here. So let's climb through this maze because it's way back here. Let's get through here. Okay, let's see, where is it? Best plan of action. Oh boy. Nope. Got him packed in here pretty tight. Oh, we're almost there. Okay, well, we're at the back of the barn. We've got the John Deere 60 we picked up last spring that we pulled out of the woods, the Relics Case SC, Brody's Brass Tag B, his 1940A, Tony's Model BR, Hyatt's Case RC. I'm standing on top of Rudy's Alice B. Got Tony's GP, but then we've got this. What is this? Well, this is Mark's 1938 Farmall F14. And this came to the ranch because it was purchased from a friend of ours who was named Pete. Pete had picked up this F14 and another F14, its twin, to essentially save, because this tractor and then the other tractor that Pete has they belonged to a widow who inherited them from her husband, and long story short, they've been sitting 10 plus years, and they were, had an older restoration on them from her husband, and from what we knew, they were ran until he died and then parked, and they sat for at least 10 years, and not much else is known about them other than they were an older restoration. So Pete bought both of them from her, and then he wanted to sell one, and Mark, who lives in Florida, he actually has his own YouTube channel titled Antique Outboards. There'll be a link in the description below. But if you're into antique outboard engines, stop by and check out his channel. It's pretty cool. But Mark bought this. Mark lives in Florida, and he bought this from Pete. And Mark has been watching our channel now for quite some time, and had asked if he were to purchase this tractor, if he could have it brought over here so that we could get it running for him. And I said, absolutely, we'll do what we can to help you and figure it out from there. So what we ended up doing to this, and I didn't do any of this on video for this particular tractor, but we have plenty of videos of, F4 rebuilds and the F12 carburetors and everything like that, F12, F14 carburetors, which are unique to this tractor. So we rebuilt the magneto, rebuilt the carburetor, and this tractor has a fuel pump on it, which we also rebuilt. The fuel tank had an old repair on the bottom that was just a big gob of JB Weld, and that was leaking all over the place. So we opted to replace the fuel tank, and we used a later model gasoline only fuel tank. So yeah, I think that's about all we did. Had to reroute some fuel lines because this had a distillate fuel tank on it before, which required some different fuel lines and everything. So we had to make some new fuel lines and reroute them. So that's about all we did to it. And then we fought with it, and we fought with it, and we fought with it. Well, I ended up figuring what the issue was. The timing was way off on it because somebody had installed a base mount Fairbanks Morse magneto onto the tractor, which I think had a little bit different degree cup or lag angle on the front of the magneto, so they had to adjust the timing where it connects to the tractor, and we didn't account for that when we installed the International Harvester F4 magneto. So a lot of fighting with it as far as trying to get it running, but we did finally get it running. I meant to take video yesterday when we reorganized the barn here and got everything packed away for the winter, but you know, time was of the essence and we were racing against daylight, and it just didn't happen to take some video of it yesterday. But I do have that video short on the channel if you guys are interested in checking it out. But Brad Bufkin, who also has a channel on YouTube, he lives just a few miles from me, and he came over to help me get this thing going because I had been fighting it forever, and he's kind of a whiz with these pre-1939 International tractors. So he stopped over and we worked on it a couple times, adjusted the timing, and finally got it to start with the hand crank. But it still kicks quite a bit when hand cranking it, so I think we got to retard the timing just one more notch. But once we do that, I think this thing will be a really sweet runner. I mean, it runs great already, but for hand cranking purposes, we should really adjust that timing just that one notch to really make it perfect. So once that's done, I think the hand cranking will not be a problem. So, but this tractor is a 1938, belongs to Mark, and the plan was he was going to take it to a friend of his farm over in Wisconsin, I believe, or back to where he lives down in Florida. I'm not sure if that's still going to happen. Mark is toying with the idea of selling this tractor. So if anybody is interested in purchasing this tractor, it's, you know, brand new magneto, brand new carburetor, brand new fuel pump, brand new tires on it. I mean, the rear tires are brand new. You can't get much better than that. You still have the nubs on the side in some areas, so easily an inch and a half of tread here. So we don't even have any weather checking in the rears. The fronts are a little weather checked, but they're really nice still. You know, the ribs are still really nice. They still got the nipples on the sides. So if anybody's interested in this tractor, it'd be a really, really nice tractor just to tool around with at shows, and they're lightweight and easy to haul. You could easily haul this with a half-ton pickup. So anyhow, that's about the story of this tractor. Let's see, what's the serial number on it? 126486 is the serial number. So I don't really have much else on this tractor other than it was purchased from Pete by Mark, and Pete got it from a widow who had let them sit for at least 10 years or more after her husband had passed. And she just wanted them to go to a good home, so Pete took them both home, and he only wanted one, really. So Mark purchased the other one, and we got it running for Mark, and you know, we'll see what happens from there. If he decides to keep it, or if somebody wants to make a good offer on it, you know, he'd probably consider getting rid of it. So it does still have hand brakes, left and right hand brakes. They do work. Steering doesn't have too much play in it. I know that the rear end oil needs to be changed because the gear shift lever is very stiff. So there probably could use a run with some diesel fluid or diesel fuel in there, clean everything out and get the sludge out of everything from sitting, and then put fresh grease in and it'll be good to go. So that's really all I got on this one. Yeah. It's ready to run. It does have factory round spokes on the rears. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it does have factory rounds on the rears. Very nice set of wheels. So, very nice tractor. See if I can get kind of a whole side view here. There we go. But anyhow, that's the story of this tractor. Everybody that has been curious about the front axle assembly for the D, it's still off at the machine shop. They haven't gotten to it yet, but hopefully they'll get to it before it gets to be below zero, because I really wouldn't want to be in the garage doing it at that time. So even though it's a pretty simple assembly to put together, but lots of stuff packed in here right now. See if we can do a head count of just what's inside the barn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in the barn. Plus we got Rudy's truck in here. We've got the M out back. And we have the D in the garage, or the shop, I guess you could say. So that's 17 tractors here right now. There was one last, an update on Grandpa's M. Everything has been dropped off at the machine shops, the respective machine shops. The block and the head are at Auto Value in St. Cloud, Minnesota. They have a really nice machine shop at that location, and I brought the block for the D there, and they did a fantastic job, so I figured let's give them a shot with the block and the head on the M. The flywheel is at the Clutch Doctor in North Branch, Minnesota, getting reserviced and rechecked. I brought the flywheel, the pressure plate, and the clutch disc all up there, so he had everything there that he needed. The ring gear is looking a little rough on that, so we might end up replacing the ring gear, but we'll see. What else? The crankshaft is at Crankshaft Supply down in Minneapolis. They did the crankshaft for the D and did a fantastic job, so might as well keep them going. And then the camshaft is at Barry Cam Service in Buffalo, Minnesota. They did the crankshaft for the D, and they did a fantastic job. So kudos to them, and we'll keep them in business. So everything else is pretty much packed away for the winter. We've got kind of the easy to start tractors right here in the middle, so we can, roll them right out. Most of these easier to start anyways, but these ones I know for a fact will start no matter what. So anyhow, that's going to do it for this episode. Oh, and then we got Raylan's little electric yard tractor and Dad's yard tractor. So I guess you could say we got 17 in the barn and 2 in the yard. But that's going to do it for this episode. I wanted you guys to kind of get the story on Mark's 1938. Whoa, point it down here. 1938 Farmall F14. And yeah, that's the story. That's what we know about it. So hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, how do you like that rope lighting? Don't have electricity, but we got extension cords. See you guys in the next one.